Last week, we brought home a BMW M240i that somehow went up in flames. And honestly, we still have no idea why. It's one of the biggest mysteries we've ever had on this channel, but while we've been working to try and figure out one puzzle, we've also been working on another one. So please welcome our BMW M4. Finished in a beautiful Yasmarina blue, it's one of a few on Aussie roads. But that's not all, it also has a Sakhir orange interior, which again is a super rare option, not commonly found on these in Australia. Aside from the rare options though, it has some cheeky modifications done to it already that we'll discover throughout today's video. But aside from that, let's jump into us actually getting the car.
Today is a huge day, we have another car coming in on the channel. It is actually right over there right now. Here we go, the BMW M4.
You excited, Jake?
Oh, I can't wait. Oh my god, it looks so good.
Woo. Where's Chris, Jake?
Chris is not here, if you're wondering, guys. He is at work, but we're going to get his reaction tomorrow. Guys, we have somehow got this thing in through a jack and a dolly because it would not get any power on that lift. I don't know what is going on with this thing. It had power in the photos, it doesn't now. So now we have to get it moved so I can have a look at this thing. What are your opinions, Christian?
You know, I've always been a Beamer boy, and I have to stick with that with this car. M's are just too beautiful, man. Like, you know, C63s are good and all, but there really is nothing better than them, especially in this color. And both individual, double individual somehow. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is absolutely insane. It was a good buy. I think at the end of this series we'll reveal the price that we got it for.
100%.
It's a good price for the nick that it's in. I mean, look at. It's a fully optioned example. Carbon roof, individual paint, individual exterior, interior, memory seats.
Full leather.
What's it called? Carbon steering wheel, custom, all that stuff. Full leather, carbon interior. It doesn't get better than this, especially for the price that we got it for. So, there's my opinion. It's a beautiful car. Hopefully we can get it running today, maybe, possibly.
Well, we're going to go for that. That's the goal.
If it runs and drives today. This is officially one of the best buys. No, the best buy we've ever had.
Let's have a look under here. Ugh.
Beautiful engine. I have to say, look at that. This be that.
Yeah.
What is better? I prefer this all
This
day.
does look so nice. It needs a good bloody clean though.
If you guys didn't know, we did a grey C63. Before that, I was stuck on M's.
Yep.
I was saying M non-stop, and I never got the chance because these things go too bloody high. Everyone wants a chance at them because of how good they are. And well, Jake is one lucky guy because he managed to snag this up. So,
Bloody hell.
it's going to turn out amazing, guys. It's very, very good. Now, we've seen the exterior. Obviously, I wasn't here for the main reveal yesterday when it actually arrived. I was unfortunately working, so Jake did all the hard work. Thank you to him. But there was a dilemma. Pretty much, the car gets no power. And obviously, in all the auction photos and stuff, this car did have power. It showed the kilometers, it showed everything. But we have an issue relating to battery power. The battery in all of these BMWs is in the boot. And because it's a mechanical boot,
Or electronic, you mean?
or electronic, sorry, it does not go up. So our theory is that a towie has touched it,
Taking off the battery.
taken off the battery terminal, and then closed the boot like an idiot. And now you can't plug the battery back in, you can't get power, can't put it in neutral, which is why it was really bad apparently to get it off the tow truck.
Yep. Had to use these dollies.
Yeah. So our first task before we probably clean it is going to be to try and get some power to it. See if there's a pyro fuse, and maybe start it.
Alright guys, this thing is a bit dead, but still, we cannot get any power to it still, so the only solution is to remove that bench seat, which we think someone's already tried to do because the headliner, I'll show you, the actual headliner is now crumpled up there, and parts of the leather are damaged back there, so some towie or something has had fun in this car, tried to get to this emergency boot unlock, and they failed. So they've actually made the car significantly worse, but
Absolutely careless. Now, I yapped on a little bit there, so I cut it out, but basically what I was saying is that it's disappointing to find that someone's caused extra damage to this car, simply because it's not theirs. So please remember guys, if something's not yours, always treat it with respect.
Alright guys, we've absolutely dismantled the hell out of this interior, and we're gonna try and crawl under there and somehow grab the latch. This guy is gonna try and crawl under there and grab that latch. Ow!
Oh, my hip! I got that on record. Oh my god, this is impossible.
It's gonna like catapult off. Oh. Holy, this guy's in the boot. There we go.
I think they've got it.
He's in the boot. Look at that. Never been in there.
Yo, there's a Lipton iced tea back here.
There we go.
Oh, beautiful. Grab the emergency release.
Is the battery disconnected, Luke?
I'm about to find
I
out.
bet it's bloody on. I bet the battery is on. Is that the boot? What's this guy removing?
Everything. He's deconstructing the car.
Where's the battery?
It should
Oh,
be.
is there no battery in there?
Has to be.
No.
Oh, it's been removed. The battery. Gang took the battery out.
What the hell? Bro, we got a battery delete. That's why there's no power in this damn thing.
I think there is no battery.
There's no terminals. Oh wait, no, it's here.
Oh.
Oh, what? Is it on?
Get the jump pack.
Is the battery on?
Yes.
So it was always on.
Anything?
Nah. Dead as anything.
Anything?
Literally, quite literally nothing. Nothing still, and the battery is on. What is wrong with this thing? We have power. Christian has got power to the car. Oh my god. Where is he at? Hold on, let's see the guy. Hey mate, how you going?
Great, mate.
Oh, thank god.
So the battery's toast.
The battery's just that cooked, not even a jumper will get to it. We officially have power.
Your jumper is also dead. Wait, does he... Is it still on? Where's the key?
Gotta love that BMW charm, guys.
Are we gonna try?
No, the pyro. I just heard things,
How do you...
and there's a bunch of oil leaking out too.
Try start it, turn it off?
Well, guys, I've tried to start it, but engine start is not possible. I don't know what that means. Probably the pyro, right?
We'll get the code reader on and find out, but could very well be. Bags are off. When 2 or more bags, it's very, very likely.
Yep.
So, let's get the code reader on it and try.
You never know what happens with clearing the code.
You can hear someone trying to fire. It's trying. Yeah. Fuel pump's firing, but... Alright, so guys, so now we're in the boot where the pyro fuse is, and that is basically a fuse that when 2 or more airbags go off, like Christian said, it breaks the circuit because it's a fuse, it blows the fuse. So, we're going to put the starter directly to the terminal to see if we can get this thing to start so that we know the engine is healthy.
And here is what the pyro fuse on an M4 looks like. Now, by taking out the fuse, we can essentially bridge the circuit back up that this fuse previously was in charge of breaking, meaning that in theory, the car will start because the circuit is now complete again.
Alright, so battery is in, pyro fuse is removed. We're gonna see if we can start this thing. Alright, we're gonna see if this thing will fire up. It will. Christian thinks it will, I don't know. Let's find out.
Let me know when you're ready to touch it.
Touch it.
Who's in the vehicle?
Hold on. It's ready.
3, 2, 1.
Oh!
We're on! Holy sh**. Oh my god! Well, it starts. Oh my god.
But not very well, it seems. That is a lot of smoke.
Alright, so that is a lot of smoke coming out of the engine bay, which is weird, but good news is it does start. That is big. We've got bypassed the pyro fuse and we're on. But now we're gonna put it in neutral and get this thing outside and then back in and then on that lift so we can check out what's actually going on.
Up she goes.
Yeah, we're gonna find out what's really wrong with this thing. I'm scared, if I'm honest.
She left a bit of oil here before and coolant, so we're gonna figure out what that smoke was. As you can see, hopefully, they're right in there. Oh, just popped. I don't know what. It probably is. It's oil.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Oh my yuck.
Wait, that's...
Oh, it's Cutlet.
Is it Catalyst?
It's VRSF.
Oh, it's Catalyst. Go down. That's why it's so loud.
We then decided it would probably be a
Ooh,
good
oil
idea to
everywhere.
get some of the skid pans off.
Oh my god. That's a lot of oil on there. There's something wrong here.
Christ.
Doesn't look good.
Holy.
I mean, hey, if it's underneath the car and you can't see, it should be fine, right?
I don't even know what causes something
I
like
don't
that.
even know, yeah.
This is dripping.
What
like,
causes something like this? Alright, so we do not know what is up with this engine. We've had a look underneath now, as you guys just saw. There's a lot of oil, but not... It wouldn't make sense for that to smoke that much with that oil there, because it hasn't even got time to get hot yet. We literally started it, and it was smoking loads.
So what I think Jake meant to say was basically there's so much oil on the hot side of the engine that it takes virtually no heat for it to start burning. So now we're going to attempt to fix that, and to do that we need to strip the carbon fiber V-mount, which M's are signature for having. As well as that, we need to take the intake and the charge pipes off so we can see down where the turbos are, which is where it's hot, and really get in there and give it a good clean, because as you saw, oil has coated everything. Next, we can pull the charge pipes off. These are super simple and only held in by one bolt, and they'll come straight off.
Alright, so we've been at this for ages, guys, if you can't tell. These heat shields are a nightmare to get off, but we think we've got enough off where we can wash it again and try our start-up tactic and see if we're getting a lot of oil or what. Our minds are headed towards it being the valve cover. We cannot see it being any line to the turbo at all. So
Because there's oil all around the valve cover, and it makes a lot of sense here with the heat shields for it to drip down and basically perfectly guide it into a heat shield on top of the turbo. Poor design, but it is what it is. So we need to get all the oil off and stuff, because that's obviously what's burning off. So we're going to clean it all off. We have enough off now to do that, and then put all the basics on, start it, and see if any more oil comes out. And if not, then basically what we have here is a very slow drip that the owner just couldn't be bothered cleaning, and it's turned into this mess over time. Which does mean that we have to do a valve cover, but it could be worse. Yesterday we thought it was an oil feed line, and I think that theory is pretty much put to bed now.
I love when you're putting on charge pipes and then you accidentally trap the MAF sensor underneath the charge pipes, so now we have to take it all off again. Alright, that is all on after the issue with the MAF. So now we're going to start it and see how much smoke we get. Nothing, eh? Yeah. We're getting a bit. Nothing yet. A little bit. That's the valve cover.
So, what does this mean for the M4? Well, I think it means we need to dig a little bit deeper, because something is clearly not right. With that being said, if you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to subscribe, because it helps us a lot more than you realize. And join us next week, where we might just find out what's wrong with this poor car. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.